The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets continue to make free agent signings, but are they actually making good signings? We'll talk about the latest. Plus, we announced the winners of the latest ASMANIAC Raffle, and we got quite the matchup in ASMANIAC Madness. Alon, Jets Johnny, the 3 versus the 14. All that and more is coming up. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby. We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. I'm live in Houston where I'm visiting some friends for the weekend, so not the usual setup. So if there's any tech issues, well, that is why. But I appreciate everyone tuning in here on a Friday. Click that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got a great show planned. We'll have a special guest joining us that this audience knows very well coming up in about 30 minutes. But before then, we'll talk about the latest moves the Jets have made. We also will start off the show announcing the winners of our 18th ASMANIAC Raffle. We're giving away a signed jersey by each member of the Sack Exchange in white, a signed helmet by each member of the New York Sack Exchange, and another signed jersey by the New York Sack Exchange in green. We also will give away an item from my merch store. With that said, it is time to announce some winners. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you gifted a membership, you're a part of this. You make it possible to have these awesome prizes. And here's how we do it. You see this wheel on the screen? I spin the wheel, and we pick a winner based on whoever the wheel randomly selects. So without further ado, let's get right to it. I'm spinning the wheel. Hopefully you all can see it. The winner of our first prize, which is the Sack Exchange jersey in white, is... Dun, dun, dun. The winner is Taps Any Button. Taps Any Button? I don't know if I have your info. So reach out to me via email, and we will make sure that we get an address to send you your jersey next week. So congrats to Taps Any Button on winning our first prize. With that said, we got more prizes to give away, folks. If you win a prize in one raffle, you can't win twice in the same raffle. So we removed Taps entries, and this next one is the signed helmet by the New York Sack Exchange. Spin the wheel. And the winner is Paul Taxter. Congratulations, Paul. You will receive the Sack Exchange helmet. Please email me, asmanjake@gmail.com, so I can get your address where I'm sending the signed helmet. All right, here we go. One more Sack Exchange jersey is on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, spin the wheel. And the winner is Mimosa McNearney. Mimosa on fire. She's won more raffle prizes than anybody. Congratulations to Mimosa. Let's do another winner here. Whoever wins this will get an item of their choice from jakeasman.com, which is my merch store website. Ladies and gentlemen, winner number 4 is Rat Diddy. Congrats to our 4 winners. Rat Diddy is awesome. Once again, 4 winners. Taps any button, white Sack Exchange signed jersey. Paul Taxter, Sack Exchange signed mini helmet. Mimosa, green Sack Exchange signed jersey. Rat Diddy, item from the merch store. Love it, love it, love it. Congrats to our 4 winners, and thank you all for continuing to support the show and allowing us to gift epic prizes, which I want to get right to it. Raffle number 19. This is one of my favorites we've ever done. Try to do certain themes with these raffles. Great jet wide receivers is the next theme in the ASMANIAC Raffle. So we start with this prize, our grand prize, an autographed jersey by Jets Hall of Famer, NFL legend Don Maynard. Number 13, autographed with the list of accomplishments in his Hall of Fame career on the actual jersey. That is our grand prize. Prize number 2 that I will announce right now, we're going to do Blast from the Past and current great jet wide receiver. Signed Garrett Wilson helmet. Those are the top 2 prizes in next week's 19th ASMANIAC Raffle. So gift if you want in. The first person to be entered in next week's raffle is our guy Dre, who gifted a membership. The second person to be entered is the Dominican Destroyer Vargas. So 2 raffle entries and counting for next week's raffle, featuring a signed Garrett helmet and a signed Don Maynard jersey. All right, let's talk some Jets, and then we'll get into your calls and everything going on with ASMANIAC Madness. I mean, I've seen a lot of criticism on some of the moves the Jets have made so far. And I'll say this. I don't know if it's the worst thing that the Jets aren't spending, quote-unquote, aggressively in this free agent class. But I do think there needs to be a balance. Because right now, outside of Justin Fields and, a couple of moves on day one in the secondary with the Cisco and Stevenson signing, there's still a lot of holes on this team. Tim Patrick signed with the Lions earlier today. That's been a guy that's been linked to the Jets probably more than any other free agent wide receiver. If we can't sign Tim Patrick, who are we signing? Who's playing wide receiver right now? I mean, we're at a point where the Jets got to hold like open tryouts for the receiver spot. So they have to get some veteran receivers added to this team. And free agency is still ongoing, and there's still some players out there. But, if you can't sign Tim Patrick, who's playing receiver for this team? So I understand the frustration from some in this fan base right now. And then you look at some of the other moves, the Jets have made. I mean, we were on the air last night for a couple of these moves. I mean, the New York Jets signed a defensive tackle finally. They signed Jay Tufili, who is basically a depth piece. I mean, PFF graded him, you see on the screen there in the tweet from Zach Rosenblatt, 127th out of 145 among defensive tackles to play at least 200 snaps. 120th in run defense. Like, this guy's a backup. This guy's not a starter for this team. He's not a starter for this team, not even close. And then before they signed this guy, the first defensive tackle they ended up signing, I guess there's some upside here in Byron Coart. I mean, he's under 30, 6'3", 300 pounds. He was middle of the pack as a defensive tackle to play at least 300 snaps, as you guys see on the screen there. But, you're talking about these moves. These aren't move the needle type of moves. They're just not. We've seen the Jets spend in free agency and it hasn't worked, so maybe this approach will be better off. But I understand why a lot of fans are like, really? This is it? I mean, look, give him credit for signing Fields. There's logic behind that, but even Fields is not a sure thing. He's a developmental signing. It's a lottery ticket, an expensive one. You paid him $30 million guaranteed to maybe develop into being your long-term answer. So, once again, the mandate from Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, when they've spoken publicly, is we want to win now. Well, these aren't win-now moves. They're just not. Anyone can try and spin it any way they want, but they're not win-now moves. This team has not gotten better in free agency. They've not gotten better by going from Aaron Rodgers to Justin Fields when you also consider the fact Devontae Adams is not on this team anymore either. So you have one legitimate wide receiver, and that's it. Tight end-wise, you could say whatever you want about Tyler Conklin, but I mean, I'd take him back right now with Stone Smart, who they did sign yesterday. I mean, there's some upside with maybe Stone Smart, but these aren't exactly, needle movers right now. But, the other thing we were told, too, is, well, Glenn's going to want to get a lot of guys who know what he wants. So we're expecting a lot of former Lions to come on board. Well, the defensive tackle, Levi, whose name I don't want to butcher, he re-signed. Tim Patrick re-signed. Where are all these Lions guys that are supposed to be coming here to help build the culture and establish whatever Aaron Glenn's looking to establish? All that, PR spin that gets put out there. I mean, there's just a whole lot of bleh. Once again, outside the two guys in the secondary, they've signed just backups so far. They need to add some legitimate wide receivers. I'd roll the dice on some of these veteran wide receivers that are out there. It's gonna obviously be contingent on what the price is and all that, but there's a reason why I've been talking about this team winning 4 games this year. I've not seen anything in free agency that gives me a whole lot of confidence this team's going to be very good next year. Unless the coaching is just unbelievable, which, I mean, maybe. But until I see it, I'm skeptical. It's a first-time head coach with a first-time offensive coordinator. We've seen this how many times? Like, these aren't moves that signify you're going to try and win. They're just not. And maybe it changes. Maybe there's a trade coming that we don't foresee, but we got to call it how it is right now. I mean, we're 5 days into this thing, and, the biggest signing they made is for a quarterback who maybe could be good, but really? I don't know about that. So, we'll see. But this coaching staff better be unbelievable, because then you could see some of these signings maybe being really good value signings if they coach them up. But I don't know. It's just, I've been disappointed with the move so far. I expected more proven commodities to be added. Just calling it how it is. A couple more memberships have been gifted here for our next raffle. Patrick DiStefano gifted 1 channel membership. Robert Morris, the pride of Ithaca College, has gifted 1 channel membership. Thank you, Robert. We're up to 4 raffle entries in our wide receiver themed raffle. If you tuned in late, we did announce the winners of the Sack Exchange raffle. Listener Taps Any Button, Paul Taxter, Mimosa, and Rat Diddy won our 4 prizes in this week's raffle. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. Michael with a super chat. Should I read anything into none of the Lions following Glenn to the Jets? Well, I mean, it comes down to money ultimately. Did the Jets offer a contract to Tim Patrick? I don't know. We need some of the details. The Jets hired a bunch of guys coaching staff-wise from the Lions, but they've yet to sign a player with Lions ties, which I find interesting. They got to add some talent to this team. They have to. They need wide receiver help. To me, that's the biggest thing I'm looking at. Yeah, I don't know if it's a negative yet, Michael, but it's certainly not a positive at this point. I mean, how have the Jets gotten better this offseason? They haven't. Now, we could say, oh, well, the coaching is better. Like, sure, that's probably true, but we don't know that. Like, I'd love to assume Aaron Glenn is a good coach. I don't know that. That's why I wanted Mike Vrabel, who is a good coach. That's why I wanted Brian Flores, who is a good coach. Just a lot of unknowns. And it's tough to ask a fan base that is as beaten down as this one to truly believe in the direction of this team. I mean, you have some people who are just blind optimists about it no matter what, and that's fine. I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan, but this team has to draft unbelievably well, and they got to have great coaching. The coaching's got to be exceptional if they're going to be good. Cactus Johnny says, I'm a fan of the Field signing, but even that is technically a reclamation project. Yeah, it is. Until proven otherwise, Justin Fields is a game manager who has an elite ability to run. That's what he is right now. Joe Mike, let's be honest. These free agent signings blow chunks. They're not great. Now, we've seen, though, to be fair, the Jets have the big splashy free agent signings, and it hasn't worked. But I think there's a balance, right? I'll give you an example. Why are we signing this Cisco guy, who might be good, right? I think there's upside there. I understand it. But then Javon Holland didn't sign for as much money as they were projecting. The Jets couldn't give Javon Holland that same deal the Giants did? Like, really? That's what I'm talking about. Joe says, besides Fields and Myers, every one of the signings is a reclamation project. And the Myers signing, he's a backup. You know, that's the one thing the Jets have done so far. They've improved the depth on their offensive line. But they lost Morgan Moses, who was their starting right tackle. So we have a hole at right tackle. I didn't even mention that. Forget just Rodgers and Devontae. Morgan Moses was the right tackle, and he's a solid player. He's not here right now. So this team has not gotten better this offseason. They haven't. They might be better overall if the coaching is great. But until I see it, I'm skeptical. I'm tired of just buying whatever the Jets do is going to be great. Like, no, let's see it, man. I think we're all sick and tired of buying into things that ultimately don't pan out. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Poochie says, if the Jets win 10 games, will you promise to eat your hat? I will attempt to eat my hat if the Jets win 10 games. I'd be happy to do it. Mark says, we're tanking for Archie. That would be one of the dumbest decisions ever because you know the Jets will never tank properly. They'll win just enough games to not get the top pick. We don't even know if Arch Manning is coming out next year. So, no, they shouldn't be tanking. They should try to win. But it's been an interesting approach to try and win with some of these moves. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. There's almost 500 of you in here. I appreciate that. If you're tuning in late, here are the top prizes for next week's raffle. Get yourself entered for a chance to win a Don Maynard signed jersey, a Garrett Wilson signed helmet. More prizes to come based on the amount of memberships we get. All right. We waited long enough. Let's talk about ASMANIAC Madness before we get to your calls. Here's where we stand in the Tournament of Champions. Yesterday was an epic day. Ricky NY cruised the victory in the morning. And in a battle that came down to just a few votes, Craig from Australia narrowly, and I mean narrowly defeated Sarah from Australia in the 6 versus 11 matchup. Now, I'm in Houston today, so I'm only doing one show today. I plan on doing a show tomorrow and Sunday. So that means that this show right here features the only matchup of the day in the tournament. Alon versus Jets Johnny. And before we open up voting, a quick word brought to you by the Vote for Jets Johnny campaign.
We're here with Jets Johnny. Jets Johnny, how do you feel about your match with Alon?
Listen here, brother. Don't say that name around me. I've been working out, taking my vitamins, and we're gonna take home this hard-earned victory for all the ASMANIACs. Get out of here with those questions. Listen here, brother. What you gonna do when the ASMANIACs run wild all over you?
Ladies and gentlemen, vote, vote, vote. Voting is now open in the round of 64 Butter Region matchup between King Douche and Jets Johnny. Vote, vote, vote. The winner advances to the round of 32. We are presented today by Mando. Folks, if you want to stop smelling, use Mando deodorant. Simple as that. Support our sponsor. They support me. So you should support them. Promo code. Ready for this? Take a deep breath and listen up. Promo code Asman will save you 40% off a Mando starter pack. Shopmando.com. Promo code Asman at checkout. This is the best deodorant. 72 hours, odor resistant. ShopMando.com. Use my promo code Asman at checkout. All right. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Voting is open. How we feeling, Jet fans, about free agency? Will the Jets make any notable moves? Alon writes in, campaigning versus Jets Johnny is a daunting task. How does an alpha personality like myself battle one who rose to popularity riding my coattails? A baiter shit talks rather than accomplishes on his own. What a douche. Kevin checks in. Chef Kevin, draft Warren this past season. He literally played every position on offense. Dude is better than Knoble. Tyler Warren would help immensely, especially after you watch the film on Fields and you see the amount of times he's throwing to Freiermuth last year. I'm in on Warren if they took him. Mason Graham still is a need there. If they took Tet, I would get it. I mean, the longer we go without having a true right tackle, though, doesn't it feel like they're going to take Membu and just say, we got our stud right tackle to go with our stud left tackle. It's a rebuild year. We're building it through the trenches, yada, yada, yada. Smell the 5-win season. Here we go. All right, get ready. Not saying it's a bad pick, but I like Warren a lot. Hennessy says, Alon, you need to call in and do another Jet champ. Remember, Alon retired. He didn't even want to be in this tournament. Don't forget that. All right, let's get to some calls, shall we? Gusbuster hotline is open. If you want in on the conversation, let's say hello right now, first up today, to a guy who will give us an up-close and personal perspective on all things Jets.
I got my Iron Uji. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
David?
If the Jets win 10 games this year and you're going to have to eat your hat, I don't think you'll be able to do it unless you put some of Beast Breaker's hot sauce on it. Then you might be able to do it. You know, gotta spice it up a little bit. But real quick, I know you're gonna have a boatload of callers and all. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. The one reason I think they should extend Garrett Wilson this year to a long-term extension. And then in talking to JJ yesterday about Justin Fields, yes, I'm not buying in yet, that he's the future quarterback. But after the conversation, I was thinking, boy, who could I compare him to in the past? One nice thing about being an older person, I'm thinking back, and I was, brought up near Philly. Randall Cunningham, the ultimate weapon. So I looked up both their heights and weights, and they're very similar, and they're terrific athletes and everything. And then I just read, looked a little bit about Cunningham. He played, and Buddy Ryan was the coach. They had the incredible defense, but they couldn't put up points. And so anyway, later in his career, he signed with the Vikings. Dennis Green was the coach. And in that year, I think they went 15-1. And I didn't look to see who all the players were, but the one player that they listed was Randy Moss. So maybe change of scenery, coaching. We don't know how the coaching's going to be, and get him his, get Fields his weapons. Tyler Warren, you said he's going to help the running game, the passing game. So I'm going to put, I'm not buying in yet, but I'm putting some hope into it.
David, I just hope this team doesn't stink. I would love to eat my hat on the air, though. All right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want you to. We don't want you to get sick, Jake. I mean, I'm sure whoever said that might give you a mulligan on that. They'd be so happy that we win 10 games that it's like, nah, Jake, you don't have to eat your hat.
Ladies and gentlemen, David T.
I got my Iron Uji. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
58-42, Jets Johnny with the early lead over Alon here in our round of 64 Butter Region matchup. Tomorrow on the show, if you want to look ahead, we'll have the 7 versus 10 between the Hamburger and Scott. And then Sunday, the final matchup in the Butter Region, Gary versus South Ass. Making our way through each region. And we'll get to the train region. And then we're on to the round of 32. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. If you missed the top of the show, we did announce the winners of our Sack Exchange themed raffle. So congrats to each ASMANIAC that won. Gave away our top 3 prizes. And now we're on to the next raffle. Your chance to win a signed Garrett Wilson helmet and a signed Don Maynard jersey. And this jersey is cool because it lists all his accomplishments. Hall of Famer, retired jersey number, all-time AFL team, Super Bowl III champ, 11,834 receiving yards, 633 receptions, the first ever New York Titan. So let's see. More calls right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check in for the first time today with a man who is completely wild. His name, Beastbreaker 666.
Beastbreaker!
Beast, how are you?
Not so good. Not good. Not
What's wrong, Beast?
I'm in a lot of pain right now. I feel like shit right now. What's wrong, Beast? Do you remember what Mickey Mantle did in '61 when he said, "I went and took the shot, right? And now the shot is infected my hip."
You look constipated, Beast.
This is bad. No, I'm not constipated. It's the hip. It's damaged. No, I'm not constipated. The hip is damaged. Come back to me later, Jake. Please, come back. I'll come back to you later.
Beastbreaker! 666, he's the man who would kick your ass. And then he's gobble-goo.
Now, we are making progress with Beast for what it's worth. He hasn't figured out how to, watch the show in real time, but at least we've solved the audio issue. Gator's been working with him behind the scenes. But hopefully, Beast, your hip feels better. I'm not quite sure what Mickey Mantle has to do with anything, but I appreciate the call as always. Hennessy. Oh, I already read this one. All right, comments, questions, super chats, keep them coming here. Ladies and gentlemen, I promised you a guest. We'll talk some draft here on a Friday, get his thoughts on free agency as well. I am in his home city right now. Cole Thompson will join us now for a segment. Hello, Cole.
I'm mad at you. I'm very mad at you. I told you one thing. Tell me what time you land so I can come pick you up. And how do I wake up this morning? A Snapchat of you driving into the city like I'm this chopped liver. Like, how dare you, Jake Asman, on a Hawaiian Friday of all days, too. You're the worst.
You're too far away. I figured I would just handle things myself.
Oh, I'm so far away. Dude, it's a free Uber. What's the point of
Don't
going
worry.
to
I got my cowboy hat for the rodeo tonight. I'm ready to go.
Who is it tonight, by the way?
Journey's playing.
Oh, okay, well, at least that's a decent one.
I saw them with Madeline 3 years ago, so we're back at it again.
Are they? Is it still the same guy who's singing, or is that a new dude?
I think it's the same. It's the same people, I believe.
It's still Steve Perry and shit.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, that's at least positive. By the way, congrats on Beast finally having decent service, but I'm pissed at myself for putting him inside of the top 4. I'm annoyed with that. I
Look,
thought for sure he was going to go further than just the first round.
The problem is he's very polarizing, Cole. So when people were filling out their brackets, people went out of their way to vote in that one. More people voted in that one than any non-breaking news stream for this tournament. It just
Of course,
Beast ran into a lot of haters out there.
15 seed. That's the problem.
It's tough. We got a good one going on right now, though.
Who do you got today?
Alon and Jets Johnny, and
Sweet Lord.
I like Jets Johnny's chances of taking down the 3 seed. 14 versus a 3. It's 57-43. Jets Johnny with the lead.
Okay. I have Alon getting upset by Craig in the next round. So I need Alon to win.
Craig barely won yesterday in the battle down under.
I know. I heard about that. Him and Sarah was the toughest round for me in that division to go ahead and pick from. That was the toughest one. I'm not going to lie. Hi, Joe Mike. How we doing, buddy?
Yo Home says, flying to Houston to see Journey sounds like a nightmare. It wasn't to see Journey. It was to see my friends. Journey just happened to be the person playing at the rodeo. All right. Let's get to the super chat here, and then, Cole, then we'll get your thoughts on free agency and the draft and all that. Beagle Tree says, on the phone, can't give memberships, but put a guy down for the Garrett Wilson helmet. Thoughts on signing Amari Cooper? You're in for 5, Beagle Tree. Thanks for the super chat. As far as Amari Cooper goes, yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in him. They need to add some veteran receivers to this room right now. I mean, Tim Patrick would have made a lot of sense. He re-signs with the Lions. Right now, Cole, the Jets have Garrett Wilson and no one else. And I don't think they're going to keep Lazard despite what some are speculating. I think they're waiting for Aaron Rodgers to pick a team, and then they'll see if they can get a 7th-round pick for Aaron Lazard, or they just eventually cut him.
Like, here's the problem. Like, people are going to say Cooper Kupp. Let's go ahead and bring him on in. He's not going to a team that isn't ready to compete right now for a championship. That's just my 2 cents. Like, I feel like Seattle, the only reason why they have a shot is because he's from Yakima. So it's like, okay, cool. Come back home, play for the team that you grew up rooting for. Makes sense. But Cooper would make sense too. I mean, what's the worst you're going to get of him? 750 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns, 57 catches. I would take that on this team. And the best part is, Jake, you and I both know this. The Jets are going to bring somebody else in at wide receiver in the draft. Is it in round 2? Is it in round 4? Is it with the 7th overall pick? Is it in a trade back? They got to upgrade at tight end. They got to upgrade at wide receiver, but you got to have somebody to feel like that the team is at least taking a step forward. It's literally Garrett Wilson and the ghost of Malachi Corley that we're kind of hoping will actually hit this year, and not much else. So it's like, why not? 1 year, $10 million. If he ends up hitting, sign a long-term deal, just like you can talk about with the guy in Justin Fields. I don't hate it. I genuinely don't hate it. And honestly, in this style of offense that they want to play, how they're going to have a solid run defense, a solid rushing attack, you need him to be a quality number 2 target. Like, that's all you're asking for in Justin Fields. Because Fields is going to take on 40% of the production just with his legs alone.
Let's talk about Fields. What was your reaction to the Jets signing him? They made it official yesterday. Here's a look at Justin Fields at the Jet facility after signing his contract. Humble over hype is the shirt that Mr. Fields is wearing.
I mean, he's like the epitome of what is needed in New York right now. And he's the epitome of a New York Jet. Like, let's honestly think about it. Disrespected quarterback that comes on in, finds a way to get benched by an organization that is incompetent, finds a way to go to another organization that's constantly is put in a draw situation, is probably going to be the best thing to come through New York this offseason, but still a dude that is at best, I would say, I don't know, probably a guy that can get you to 9 wins, maybe a playoff berth, which again, I'm kind of cool with. Like, you got to have the weaponry around him. That was one thing that I think is going to be really important, is why you got to go ahead and bring in somebody at pick number 7 or in a trade back. But when you think about the style of offense that they're going to run, there's going to be that mobility factor that he is going to have to use. They're going to have a run game. So I think that when you bring in Breece Hall, what you're probably going to have a Braylon Allen. If you bring in somebody else, okay, so be it. It's not the worst thing. I think that he's actually kind of fitting that mentality of what's needed. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to lean one way or another. He could go 4-13 and I could believe it. He could go 9-8 and I could believe it. Honestly, I'm done kind of with the Jets when it comes to betting on quarterbacks, because I bought too much stock last year into what Aaron Rodgers was. And then they traded for Devontae Adams and maybe they could have a turn, and they still had a solid defense. Like, that to me is where, like, I kind of punted on the Jets this season. If they get 7 wins, that's a winning formula, for my opinion.
7 wins, a winning formula. I mean, it's just the
unknown.
Would you
rather go 5-12 again, like you always do?
No, I mean they went, but like here's the thing: they went 7-10 back-to-back years in 22 and 23. Like I want this team to make the playoffs. I'm tired of losing. Go now, or at least have a winning season. Go 9-8 next year. Comes down to coaching to me. I don't know what Aaron Glenn is as a coach. I know you liked the hire when they made it. We're putting a lot of faith in him, and they have a first-time offensive coordinator too. I don't know what Tanner Engstrand is.
Nobody knows what Tanner Engstrand is, and it's like so many people say, "Oh, well, he's going to be working with Aaron Glenn, and they're going to have a similar approach to what was ran with Dan Campbell." And it's like you don't know if he's Ben Johnson. Remember that Ben Johnson was a tight ends coach that got promoted after they fired Anthony Lynn. Like there's so many things that just happen to fall in line. And by the way, people seem to also forget if they're following the same pathway of Detroit in any situation, what did Detroit do year one, Jake? They sucked. They were awful. They were one of the worst teams in the NFL. And the reason they did that was to get more quality picks. The reason they did that was to put themselves in a better situation to free up some cap space. So
well, their talent wasn't as good as this Jets team, though. The Jets have more talent than that Lions team.
But this Jets team is slightly going to be better than what maybe that Lions team was. I'm thinking 7-10. I think that 7-10 year one, you're able to kind of figure out who are going to be your long-term pieces. You get a deal done with Sauce. You're locked on in and seeing if Fields can be your guy. Cool. To me, that's a winning formula going into year two. I'm sorry. Like I'm not saying that this is a year where 10-7 and finish second in the division and compete for a playoff spot. Like I'm saying, hey, if you just find pieces that work for this team and are bought into the New York freaking Jets, then cool. Win for me. Because of every single time that we overhype New York, guess what happens? You come crashing back down to reality that you're not a team that is actually competitive. So this year, I'd rather have no expectations. I'd rather have zero hope or belief that anything positive is coming and just maybe see Justin Fields take that step forward, kind of like we saw a couple years ago with Geno Smith. Cool. He's the guy. We're bought in for 2026. That's what I believe.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you're just tuning in. How about this super chat from the Rat Diddy? Thanks, Jake, for everything you do for us crazy Jet fans each and every day, brother. Rat, you're the man. I hope you saw the beginning of the show. You won an item from my merch store. So hit me up. Tell me what you want, and I will get that ordered for you when I get off the air today. Congrats to you, Rat Diddy, and thank you for some beers tonight at the rodeo. Yeah, with this super chat. All super chats go to the Jake Asman Beer Fund. With a super chat. It seems like AG and Muji are trying to build through the draft. Free agent signings, low risk, young guys, maybe angling for comp picks. Thoughts? You're right, C, but here's the thing. Every team says they want to build through the draft. You also got to make smart signings in free agency to supplement your roster. Like, it's the most cliche thing, build through the draft. Find me a GM who doesn't want to hit on their draft picks.
Les Snead up until about 5 years ago. Like, literally. I mean, I've been built about 2 years ago. Remember, F them picks. Didn't care about picks.
But his first round picks he traded, but like look at some of the picks in the non-first round they had.
Oh,
like,
dude, we've talked about it so many times. Like, in my opinion, Les Snead is a Super Bowl appearance away from literally saying, I built two teams in two different ways, and I'm still able to win. Like, but you're right. Most GMs want to build through the draft. You want to why? Because if they want to have cheap, affordable contracts to where guys are actually hitting, and then they can go make that splashy free agent hire that will get them over the top. Like that's what you're talking about. I mean, the Jets did that a couple years ago. 2022. 2022. One of the best drafts that we have seen in recent history. They hit on almost every single pick. And now you got to pay them. And if you don't pay them, they're going to walk in free agency.
Give us some takeaways overall in free agency, Cole. It doesn't just have to be Jet related. What has stood out to you?
Houston, I don't know what they're doing. I don't think that it's a bad thing, if I'm being completely honest, to let go of Laramie Tunsil, because you got to pay people. You got to pay CJ Stroud. You got to pay Derek Stingley. And especially you got to pay Derek Stingley before you guys pay Sauce Gardner, because that's going to reset the market, especially for a dude that's coming off an all-pro year. You got to pay Will Anderson. You got to pay Jalen Petrie. You got to pay Daniil Hunter. He's going into a contract year. So I look at that move. Yeah, it feels like it's a downgrade, but if they're able to hit on the offensive line, remember, they got rid of Chris Strasser, who was a laughingstock and one of the worst offensive line coaches in the NFL for Cole Popovich. Bring in Nick Caley. If the system ends up working, then I think that it's not going to be that big of a deal. Houston's such a weak division to where they can win. I like the moves that Indianapolis has made. I think Javarius Ward coming on in. I think that The safety they got is also a really good move, Cameron Byram. Los Angeles, I think that they're really doing a good job of stockpiling in talent that's veteran to kind of go all in with Matthew Stafford. I like they didn't trade Stafford. I think the window of opportunity to win is still right now. You get Devontae Adams, Sapira Puka Nacua. I like the signing of Poona Ford. I like what they brought in at linebacker. I like that they brought back Ulrich Jackson, because what it does, Jake, is it allows them to be more open to ideas on what they want to do in the draft. If they want to bring in a wide receiver like Emeka Ibuka, they can absolutely do so. If they want to get better on the offensive line and get like a Josh Simmons coming off a torn ACL, they can absolutely do so. So I think that the Rams have been a very quiet sleeper. I know the Bears are going to be considered the offseason winners because of how much they've spent. I don't love any of the moves. I don't hate any of the moves. I think that Drew Dahlman was an overrated center. So for those that were going to pay, the reason why you were paying is because of he was the best center available on the market. That's not saying a lot. But you bring in Jonah Jackson. That's a dude that has experience playing in a system underneath Ben Johnson. You bring in Joe Thuney, who is one of the best interior offensive linemen. So I look at them and say they're putting an emphasis on building around Caleb Williams. That's a good thing. But they are going to have to add in, I think, another playmaker at wide receiver. They are going to have to add in, I think, another quality linebacker. I think they still got to free up some cap space. And they play in a really rocky division. The Vikings are such an interesting team because Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah took so much crap from all the fans and saying that he was dumb with going to trade for the Jameson Williams pick. Well, all that money that they've utilized in the last 2 years, they have been able to build a contender around J.J. McCarthy. Like Jordan Addison, the pick hit. They were able to pay Justin Jefferson. They were able to go get Javon Hargrave. They were able to go get Jonathan Allen. They were able to go get Blake Cashman last year and Jonathan Grenard. They're going to have a top 10 defense. They're going to have a top 5 offense. The fact they were able to bring in both Will Fries and Ryan Kelly, I think, is a huge win for this organization, and they should still be the favorites. I don't know what Arizona's doing. I think the Chargers kind of took a step back. They didn't really make a lot of moves to where you felt like with all that cap space, they should have been all in. Philadelphia, they're still Philadelphia. Like, I understand CJ Gardner-Johnson's gone, but I still think that what you have in Reed Blankenship and what you have in, of course, Cooper DeJean, that cornerback, you're going to be fine on that end. Mekhi Becton, where is he going to sign? It's going to be really interesting. I think that there's been some really big winners. The Milton Williams deal was a really interesting one. Like, I'm really glad that a team like the Jets didn't sign Milton Williams because $100 million for a defensive tackle and a guy that really wasn't even your main force, that feels like an overpay.
Well, the thing is, he had the best game of his life in the Super Bowl, so it just feels like he completely capitalized on that. So I'm with you. New England has gotten better, though. Morgan Moses is a good player. He helps them. They signed some corner help. I mean, the Jets are going to be picked to be a fourth-place team by many. That's why the coaching is so important, because they got to figure it out.
Do you think so? I don't.
I do. How are they? Drake May is going to be the next up-and-coming star, people are going to say. Vrabel's a legit coach. Well, okay, so there you go. Vrabel's a legit coach. I don't know what Aaron Glenn is. Miami's still better than the Jets until proven otherwise. I mean, Buffalo is Buffalo. The Jets are going to be picked to be a last-place team.
I want to see what they do at pick number 4. Case in point. Because they still don't have a number 1 wide receiver. They don't.
Are you talking about New England?
Yeah, New England. So guess what you have? You have Garrett Wilson.
Hold on 1 second. I'm really annoyed by this. Matthew Smith. Jake wants us to be bad. It's wild. If you think a guy who makes his living talking about this team wants them to be bad, you need to seek medical help. All right? You need to be drug tested because I live and die with this crummy franchise. I would love nothing more for this team to be good. But I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm optimistic and feeling great and love every move if I don't, because I am authentic in my opinion. You could disagree, Matthew, but to insinuate that I want this team to suck, are you out of your mind? All right?
Can we step into the shadow realm, please?
Yeah, actually, in honor of Alon right now going at it. Hey, this is for you, Matthew Smith.
I'm glad to be in Asman Shadow Realm.
Into the shadow realm you go.
Aaron Rodgers is a glutton for fame. I don't think he loves his teammates. I think he loves attention.
GFY. First word is go, and the last word is yourself.
Boom. Okay, we got to update all the shadow realms now with Rodgers. But, I mean, give me a break, man. If the Jets make good moves, I'll say it. Like, I wanted them to sign Justin Fields. I thought it made sense. They did. But I'm also not going to blindly sit here and say I think they're going to be good. Like, they could be. I'll give you the pathways where they could be. Aaron Glenn could be Mike Tomlin.
You just also said that you wanted them to go 9-10 this year. And I'm like, let's be real. They're a 7-win team at best.
I want them to have a winning season. Yeah, I want them to fight. I'm not signing up for a 7 wins and being like, "Ooh, we won 2 more than last year." Great, no, man. Like the playoff drought's at 15 years. Show us something, man. Show us something. Every year, there's 4 teams that didn't make the playoffs.
This isn't the year to do it, Jake. That's
Why not?
the problem.
Why, did anyone have Denver making the playoffs last year?
Okay, because if you play against the Buffalo Bills, you're going to have a 4th place schedule, a 3rd place schedule, not a 4th place schedule. You also are still going to have question marks on your offensive line. How do you replace a dude in Morgan Moses at the right tackle spot? Do you feel like that you have a contingency plan in place? At least if you're not taking somebody at 7, you don't have a quality tight end, in my opinion. You lost multiple defensive players. You're still going to be playing against a up-and-coming New England offense with at least Drake May. Now, again, I'm not saying that they're going to be a team that I think is going to be good, but could you at least say that they're right in the middle? And then you don't know what Miami is. So it's like, this is not the year where I'm saying, let's go talk all about the Jets actually being a 9-win team. If you tell me right now, do me a favor, Jake, if you get to 9 wins this year, and then you have 5 years of suckitude, and you are just abysmal, and you watch as Sauce Gardner pulls a Jamal Adams and wants out of there, all of those things, or you go 7-10, you sign Sauce and Garrett Wilson to a long-term deal.
This is a stupid hypothetical.
Game plan is with Garrett Wilson, and you also know that Justin Fields is your quarterback.
Stupid hypothetical. Who can't? No,
it's not a stupid hypothetical because you're talking about this team to potentially be a 9-win roster, and they're not. They're a 7 at best.
What are you, Cole? What the fuck? Excuse me. Are you arguing here? That doesn't make any sense. I'm saying this team should be a lot better than 4 or 5 wins from a talent standpoint. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they should, but they're probably not. They're probably actually going to be a team.
I don't understand what your point is. Oh, would you rather go 9-8, and then the other scenario where you're talking about Sauce asking out? What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. I'm saying this. They are saying they want to win now and going forward. Those are the words.
They're not going to win now. They're not.
That's my point. I don't think they're good enough to win right now.
I'm just making sure that's your point.
But in their own words, they're trying to win. So they should go out there and try and win as many games as possible. And I think best case scenario, if the coach is legit and Justin Fields could develop, they could go 9-8, 10-7. Did anyone have Denver anyone have Denver in the playoffs last year or 2 years ago? The Texans were a joke and then made the playoffs in year 1 with Stroud and D'Amico. Anyone have the Commanders doing what they did? So, that's my point. Go 9-8. Sneak into the playoffs. That should be the goal. I'm not settling for 7 wins and celebrating that.
Okay, for starters, do you really think that 9-8 in the AFC is going to get you in the playoffs?
It might. It did for Denver. Or were they 10-7? 9-8, 10-7.
Denver was 10-7.
2 years ago,
the Pittsburgh 10-7 gets you in the playoffs.
9-8 2 years ago was good enough to make the playoffs in the AFC. It changes year to year. It's 9 or 10 wins is usually enough for that last wild card spot.
I'm telling you, if you got to get to 10-7. I don't think this is a 10-win team this year. Now, again, I think moving forward, again, if you are able to sign everybody locked in, you figure out that Fields is your dude, you don't have to spend a first-round pick on one of the quarterbacks that I don't believe in. I absolutely think that right now you're talking about this team to be a really good foundation moving forward. And again, I'm a big believer in what Aaron Glenn is. I think he's a program builder. I think he's the right mentality.
So make the playoffs, Aaron Glenn. Let's go. Make the playoffs.
He's going to make the playoffs. Okay, in 2026, he will make the playoffs. I will buy in then. I will not buy in right now. I will buy in.
The quarterback in 2026, a rookie?
No, it's going to be Justin Fields. I think Fields is going to prove to you that he is the right guy, just like Geno Smith had to prove that he was the right guy for Seattle.
I mean,
that's what I want to see this year.
I hope.
Don't you want to have a quarterback that you actually believe is right now really locked in place?
Yeah, I mean, that's the path to being good this year. Justin Fields is actually
but in my opinion, if you have a quarterback that you know for a fact is here long-term, fits the offensive system, has a great rapport, just like we saw for years at Columbus, Ohio with Garrett Wilson. If you have that, to me, that is as big as a win as making the playoffs because if at least you know that you are locked in for the long term.
Good point by Dustin. 9-8 would have made it last year if the Chiefs needed that last game against Denver. Look, if they go 9-8 and miss the playoffs, that to me is not a bad first year for this regime.
Okay. I think if you go 8-9, I think that's a really good first year for the team. I think if you go 9-8, it's a great first year in the
8-9, by the way, would be more wins they've had in a season in a decade. That's how pathetic it's been.
Sure. Again, I don't think this is a 4-win team by any means. I think this is probably about a 7-win team.
Can't wait. Jose with a super chat. He's in the raffle for 5. Hey, Jake, I'm a 40-year Jet fan. I've seen it built 40 different ways. I'm going to reserve judgment till we see more. Nobody thought the Lions would be any good after Campbell's first presser. Proof is in the pudding. But I'll say this about Campbell. That Lions team was 9-8 at the end of year 2. And then they were in the NFC Championship game in year 3. Like, this shouldn't be a long-term rebuild in today's NFL. Jets have to be in the playoffs by 2026 at the latest.
I think so. But also, again, like, you don't win the team by winning the press conference. You win by putting in the effort. And what did you have? You had buy-in in the culture underneath Dan Campbell. And that was because of the coaches that he brought in. That was because of guys like Aaron Glenn. That was because of guys like Ben Johnson. That was because of having free agents, the right free agents like Jamal Williams being the leaders of the team. To me, that's what I'm trying to figure out. After this year, you go 8-9. Next year, you go 11-6. You're competing for the AFC East. You're competing for a spot as a top 4 seed. That's what I think. But it all starts by having the right leaders. I think you have the right coach. I do. I absolutely thought this was the best hire made in the offseason, in my opinion. Besides, maybe I would say Pete Carroll. But I do believe that when you get the right locker room culture, when you get the right leaders in the building, when you get the right personnel, that to me is where you are in a good spot. Because if once you have the culture settled, everyone else has to fall in line. The reason why the Texans are so damn good in the last 2 years is because, well, number one, they play in a crappy division, but they had the right leaders. They had the right attention. They had the right identity. That's what you want in year 1, I think, for a guy like for a guy like Aaron Glenn.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Hey, shout out to a huge bum that just added me on the Nick Shine Discord, Matt66FF. Shout out to you, Matt. Happy Friday. David says, Jake, here's $10 in case you run into Charles at the bar. Thanks for allowing us to vent you. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, Cole, but Charles Gorman receiving dating advice from Gary and a slew of Asmaniacs made for one of the more entertaining segments we've had this month on the show so far.
I want to see this.
Yesterday's show, rewind it towards the end. We also did a deep dive on the Instagram accounts that Charles follows. It was electric, let me tell you.
I want to. Oh God, I'm gonna go back and watch it.
Henny says if Fields proves everyone wrong this year, well, that to me is the biggest path for this team to be good. Like, Fields has the chance to be good. I don't think he's going to be their long-term answer. I'm very skeptical, but of the options out there, he was the one guy you could sign that at least gives them gives us some hope that he could be the guy. Because at times he's flashed potential to be a really good quarterback in this league. He's just very inconsistent.
Yeah, but I think the one thing that you can appreciate is that guess who he's getting back? The dude that turned him into a first-round pick to begin with, Garrett Wilson. Like, having that rapport, that relationship, sometimes does wonders for you. And it's like, you just pick up the ball, you never lost place. By the way, did you tell me that Charles Gorman got dating advice from Gary?
That's right.
Oh my God. Why? Why?
He's been talking to some women.
Charles Gorman's been talking to some women.
On Instagram.
I am so excited. I'm invested in Charles Gorman's relationship at this point. I am fully locked in to see his first date.
City Burt, what is the Jets over/under? 6.5 or 7.5 wins? Is there an over/under out for the Jets right now? Let's see if I can find it.
I believe it's at 6.5 wins.
I'd take the under right now.
I'd just take it. I'd take the line even. So I guess I would take the under because I don't believe that. I believe that 7 wins is what you're going to get.
I don't see any line on the win total right now. If someone has a link to that, let me know.
If it was set at 6 wins, then I would say take it.
Knobcraft in the raffle for 5. By the way, for those tuning in late, we did announce the winners of the Sack Exchange raffle. We're on to the next one. I think this is going to be fun. Wide receiver theme raffle this week. Top 2 prizes. Signed Don Maynard jersey. Signed Garrett Wilson helmet. Those are the top 2. So get ready. As far as Knob's super chat, most probable Jets outcome for next season will be Fields plays just mediocre enough and the defense wins enough games to finish with 11 or 12 wins and they miss out on a stud quarterback in the draft. But Knob, I'll tell you what, if they win 11 or 12 games, they're in the playoffs. That'd be awesome. Sign me up for that scenario.
The other thing
That's
is
the
that
most
they're going to
probable outcome. That sounds awesome. By the way, and say this happens, right, Cole? Then okay, if Fields is good, but they're not. It's like Alex Smith with the Chiefs. Or Tyrod with the Bills. Trade up and go get your long-term answer.
That's what I'm saying. If you just trade up at that point, if that's the outcome, and next year's draft where potentially you're going to have Sam Levitt coming out, Drew Aller coming out, how much better we're going to see if Arch Manning ends up deciding to declare. What about Nico Iamaleava out of Tennessee? Like, that's a class to where you are actually excited about the quarterback room. Even Carson Beck in Miami, if he's fully healthy from the injury and he's no longer banging Latinas and cheating on the Cavender twin. Like, yeah, I mean, if you do that, you'd be okay with that. Trade up at that point. But no, that probable? Like, is that probable? No way is that probable, in my opinion.
I think what Knob meant was they'll be picking 11 or 12. Not 11 or 12 wins, because what Jet fan wouldn't sign up for an 11 or 12 win? The Jets have won 12 games once in their history in the regular season.
Exactly. No, I mean, no. The 11, they're not getting 12 wins. They're not getting 12 wins next year. No way. If you're picking at 12.
If we win 11-plus games, Jake has to hang out in Brattleboro for a weekend with the Midnight Brothers. You got a deal, Tom. All right? I'll let Bobby Midnight move in with me if the Jets win 12 games this upcoming year.
You got okay. Hold up. You gotta let Mikey move in with you. You gotta let Mikey move in with you, not Bobby. Mikey feels like the more fun one.
Mikey's electric, man.
Mikey feels like the more fun one at this point. I'm sorry, it does. I'm kind of pulling for him. I know I took Bobby to win it all, but I really think at this point I want Mikey to win it.
Bobby, you're moving in with me for an extended period of time if the Jets win 12 games in the regular season. All right? It's on the record. Ladies and gentlemen.
Why is Matthew Smith still commenting on here? I thought you put him in the shadow
Matthew
realm.
Smith is one of the worst. He's in here every day, and
I thought he was in the shadow realm. Did we unban him at this point?
Shadow Realm's only 5 minutes. Whole is for 24 hours.
I thought it was longer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in with my future roommate if the Jets win 12 games.
Well, you know I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. But Les Jake has a show. Bobby. Hello, my friend Cole.
I love Bobby Midnight. Bobby, I have you winning it all, dude. Like, I need
why
you
do
to
you
skip
say
the
have
game up.
Mikey as a roommate over me? What's the difference? What would you do that for?
I think that Mikey right now is just he's showing his chops. He's getting more comfortable on the show.
I had a period for
It's a
2
better
months.
interview.
Okay, give me a break. I had a period for 2 months. Okay. Hey Jake,
listen,
you know the shirt?
I still have you winning.
Okay, I appreciate that. Jake, do you remember the shirt that Tom Ace got me?
I don't.
Remember when it was my birthday? He gave me like shorts, and that didn't fit. Then the jersey didn't fit. Then he got me a blue shirt. It fits now.
Let's see the shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Put me full screen.
Yeah. You're full screen, baby. I'm gonna send you a new hat too, by the way, Bobby. I'm gonna get you a new hat.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, let me move my chair so everybody can see how I'm looking good. And then
Bobby, you look great.
I lost 44 pounds.
You look awesome, Bobby.
See, I like the shirt.
Right.
Yeah.
I could even put this shirt on to begin with when I was big, but now look at it. Room. And then you know what Nick Shine's got to do for me?
What's that?
What?
He's got to buy me clothes and his girlfriend. And then because my clothes are getting baggy. I'm getting baggy clothes and stuff.
You look handsome, Bob. You really look good.
I'm doing good. I feel good. I took a walk this morning. Did I tell you that?
That's right. You told me.
Oh, I did tell you. Okay, yeah. Well, I just want to thank Tom Ace again for the shirt. I'm going to try the jersey he gave me. I didn't try that on yet.
Wow, Leany says, looking hot, Bobby.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Leany. You always look hot.
Oh, baby. Here we go.
Oh, Mr. Leany's going to
Bobby.
get after me. I like good-looking chicks in that thing. Wow.
Bobby.
Oh, yeah, baby. Things are about to get crazy here on the Jake Asman Show.
Calm your freaky down.
Sometimes we try, but that freaky just take us over.
Give him some of your loving voice.
Oh, yeah, hide them kids.
Again, leave your damn freaky down.
Too sexy.
You gotta chill, man.
That was good how he did everybody in King Lowski, me and Jake. That was awesome.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
good.
So,
Bobby, how
yeah.
much you want to lose?
Well, I'm down past my when I was with my ex-wife.
Ooh.
Yeah.
She's gonna be
Well, we gotta get you a new
jealous.
wife, Bobby.
What?
We gotta get you a new wife.
Well, I like being single now, but if I get down more, you know what happens. We got 2 more weeks of the challenge, so.
Hey, Bobby, what about the Braylon Allen jersey I sent you? Your favorite player? Does it fit yet?
Yeah, I gotta check that. Yeah,
I think it might fit you now. You got to try and put it on.
Yeah, I'll put it on next show, tomorrow's show. I promise.
Put it on right now. I'll come back to you.
Hey, Bobby, I want to see you in the Braylon Allen jersey. Go get it.
Yeah, I sent him a Braylon Allen
Because
jersey.
I'm not gonna be on tomorrow.
Yeah, Cole wants to see the Braylon Allen jersey. He was high on him out of Wisconsin.
I love that kid. By the way, we gotta talk draft, I think, for a little bit.
Yeah, we are. I have that queued up. But first, this from Mike with the team in this state. Tyler Warren needs to be pick at 7. Get blocking and receiving help in 1 pick. I'm certainly open to Warren. I think the longer they go without signing a legit tackle, I think Membu's in play at 7, and I also like Mason Graham at 7. Those are the 3 I'm eyeing. Your thoughts?
I don't think Mason Graham's going to be there. I think that if you watch the press conference from Jacksonville with James Gladstone, he kind of laid out the cards. It's going to be either a cornerback or it's going to be a defensive tackle because we didn't sign either position with a high profile name. So it's either going to be Will Johnson, potentially Travis Hunter if he falls, or it's going to be Mason Graham. Membo has honestly become my favorite pick. Like, Membo to me has gone from being a dude that I really like as an upside right tackle, end of day 1 talent to potentially a top 10 pick. And honestly, when you get Olu Fashanu on the left side and you can get Membo a premier right tackle, and in my opinion, the best right tackle in this draft, far and away, and maybe the best tackle in this draft, far and away at 7, that's a win. If it's Tyler Warren, I'm trying to trade down. Like, I am trying to move back just a little bit and be content taking him at, say, like pick number 12 or pick number 13. That is my belief at this point. Because if
Who's
I can
trading up to 7 though? Like, for which player?
I could see potentially Membo being the guy, and if you didn't want to take him, let's say that you signed, I don't know, like Cam Robinson in free agency on a 1-year deal, and that was your dude, and you just said, okay, well, we're going to be fine with that. I could see definitely Chicago want to move on up. I think that Chicago also could be moving on up, especially if they want to get Ashton Genty, especially if they want to just jump some other people. They could get up a little bit, maybe give you a 3rd-round pick. I think San Francisco could be in play for Will Johnson if they feel like that there's going to be a run at cornerback. I think that you can probably see Dallas maybe trade on up. So it's just small little things like that where you can move on back to 12. And if you can get Tyler Warren at that point, the thing is that you just want to be ahead of Indianapolis and Miami. Like, if you can be ahead of both of those teams, I think that you can walk away with Tyler Warren. But I just wouldn't take him at 7. If I'm picking right now at 7, Membo is my guy.
Membo, how do you feel about Campbell?
I think Campbell's good. I think Campbell is kind of at this point one of those guys that we're going to look back 7 or 8 years from now and he's going to be an all-pro, but he's going to be an all-pro interior offensive lineman. I personally do believe that the eventual move will be we're going to try him at left tackle. We're going to see if he can work. We're going to move him inside. He's going to have a Zach Martin-esque career. I think far and away he is the best overall lineman in this draft. I love his footwork. I love his hand placement. I love his lower center of gravity. I love his mentality. Like, the way that he was able to command the dominance at LSU from the second that he walked in as an 18-year-old. He's absolutely phenomenal. But I see him more so as a all-pro, like Peter Skoronski, Pro Bowl-esque type dude, a Zach Martin type dude, to where if you shift him inside, his career is going to be so much longer.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We are accepting raffle entries for our next ASMANIAC Raffle. Signed Don Maynard jersey with his Hall of Fame accomplishments on the jersey and a signed G5 Garrett Wilson helmet. Cole, we'll shift more focus to the draft. There's a new prospect that has been climbing up draft boards post-combine. I want your thoughts on the Jets potentially getting in the mix and drafting quarterback from Arizona State, Dixon Hull.
The 27th pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hull out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader?
I'm going to have to watch more film on him from his sophomore year because we didn't see him play in 2024. He was suspended. And we know about the suspension. It was a very big off the field incident to where he got in an argument with Kenny Dillingham. They eventually brought in Sam Levitt. Sam Levitt was able to go ahead and lead the Sun Devils to a Big 12 title. But the physical attributes are there. He's got mechanics out the wazoo, great footwork. His attention to detail on the meticulous little things are great. I think that when you look at his arm strength, he's not going to be a dude that is going to uncork it because of it's not like Anthony Richardson. What you're talking about is somebody who is probably going to have about that 30 to 35 yard range, but it's going to be right in the breadbasket every time. If you watch his high school tape, he had a 70.2 completion rating, back-to-back years of over 3,500 passing yards, back-to-back years of where he had 35 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. He led his team to the state championship, 6A level role. So I think that this is a guy that you're banking on his intangibles. My main question is it going to be Anthony Richardson 2.0? Because remember Anthony Richardson, everyone was so high on him because of what he was as an athlete. But people don't realize that he had only played 18 games throughout his entire college career. And he was in Florida for 3 seasons. We only saw Dixon Hole play 9.5. I mean, this is still a guy that we have got to figure out what is his overall trajectory. That's what I'm wondering at this point is,
100%.
Do we believe that he can be?
Yeah, I mean, look, the bottom line is, though, when Lane Train finds a prospect after Knoble last year, you got to pay close attention.
Hello, Jake.
Hey, Lane. How are you?
Great. Do you see the Jets possibly drafting, was it Dixon?
Dixon?
Yeah.
Who's Dixon?
He's out of college. Dixon Hall.
I'm actually not familiar with Dixon Hall. What position does he play?
QB.
So Dixon Hall, quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you think that Dixon Hall would be a good pick by the Jets?
Yeah.
I'm going to look into Dixon Hall, but your scouting acumen speaks for itself. All right, Dixon Hall to the Jets. Let's start the campaign, people.
Dixon Hall. It's almost like Knoble.
Yeah, but Knoble ended up being a great find by you. You were ahead of the curve.
Well, I did find that he got into an accident with his estranged girlfriend.
That's right.
I'm going into a house. He's alive. The 27th pick in the NFL draft, the New York Jets select Dixon Hall out of Arizona State. What am I, a mind reader? Like, I know every player. So, yeah, that's all I have to say.
To the late trade.
The other prospect that has been climbing up draft boards is Clid Midia. Could he be in play for the Jets at 42? Emmanuel wants to know.
No, not at 42. Can you get him in round 4? I've been hearing a lot about him coming off of the torn ACL, that being a big issue, especially playing in the Big Ten. He was run to the ground his last 2 years when he was at Minnesota. It's why we didn't see him play last season. But if you talk to people around the program in Minneapolis, they said that he was the most attentive worker. He basically lived inside of the facilities. You couldn't catch him not putting up 600 pounds on the squat rack to be able to make sure that he got down low, got to the great center of gravity, and pulled himself up. He's a great pass protector. That's what you really want to pair alongside with Justin Fields. But Clid Midia, not at 7. Not at 7. I would say anytime you get a guy coming off of a season-ending injury that cost him an entire year, that automatically hurts you as probably, I would say, at least 1 grade. Now, at 69, let's have that conversation. I think Chlamydia at 69 is over here.
The Jets are at 73 after no one knew the actual
trade
details.
Up your 4th-round pick to go get Chlamydia at 69.
I'd move up for Clid Midia at 69. I'd probably make that deal. I agree with you. Hit the like button. 100%. If you're just tuning in, please hit the like button. Jose writes in, Fields under center, Brees in the backfield, Warren at tight end, Garrett at wide out. We could have something smash mouth and play action. If this coaching staff is good and Fields can take a step forward, yeah, that's why I'm not giving up on this year. I just find a way to win, man. Please. I'm sick of it. Tom Ace is concerned Clid Midia can infect the organization from within. I mean, there are some concerns there. That's probably why he's going to fall a little further down in the draft.
No. Okay, no, he's falling down because he's on the IR. That's the reason why. But he oozes with the right type of juice. He oozes with the right type of flair. That's what you want inside your backfield with Chlamydia. I'm telling you, as a 3rd down running back to pair in this offense with Brees Hall, with Braylon Allen, now you are actually in a very good spot. I think Chlamydia at 69 it's going to ooze with the right type of potential that you need in your backfield.
Hennessy says now Jake not giving Hennessy. I've been very consistent. I don't think this team's going to be great, but I'm not settling for a 4 or 5 wins, being like this is great. No, like they should find a way to win. Like Robert Saleh won 4 games with a brutal roster in year 1. This team should at least find a way to win 8 games this upcoming year. That's what I'm holding them to. But I don't think they're going to do
again,
it.
I think 7. I think 7. Finding an identity, finding your leaders, making sure that people are locked up long term. You have a culture. That is what I'm looking for in year 1. And again, if you're able to, you need to find your Knoble this year. You have to find your Knoble. I'm telling you right now, because we missed on him last season.
Ralphie checks in. Chlamydia not afraid to stick his face in there and go and get it.
He's the best pass protector at the running back position. He gets right in the hole, and he is not afraid to miss. He is arguably going to deliver that type of punch that leaves a black eye and a couple of bruises.
Diggy Small.
We're going to have to go to the doctor after facing off against Chlamydia.
Diggy says, Jake keeps saying, get ready for 4 wins. Yeah, okay, but like, I'm not settling for that. Like, that's just how I feel right now. I hope. Let's see what they do in the draft. I mean, the first wave of free agency here has been disappointing. I didn't expect them to sign everyone, but, they could have signed Javon Holland for the same deal the Giants gave him instead of, the Cisco signing they made instead from the Jaguars.
I still think that right now, the Andre Cisco deal is not bad. Because if there's one person that I trust to get the best version out of him, it's going to be Aaron Glenn. I just trust him with defensive backs. I always will. I think that there is some value about a guy that's played the position, played it at a high level, and been one of the more stable defensive back coaches in the NFL, and has a good background in scouting on what works and what doesn't, to see what he was successful at when he was in Syracuse, and then took his way down. To me, that's what I believe is going to end up helping him out. Yeah, my takes are exactly like somebody who has backward hat and wears Hawaiian shirts indoors. I do. Hawaiian Friday, Leon, get used to it.
Would y'all take Cup? I think did we mention Cup earlier? It depends on the price.
Yeah.
I'd be in on Cup on a 1-year deal. I don't think he's gonna choose the Jets.
1 year, $12 million. 1 year, $12 million.
I would do it.
Would you do it?
No,
I would do it.
He'll give you 11 or 12 games, but I'll take those 11 or 12 games.
Okay, here's the thing. You need him to be a number 2 receiver. That's what he is at this point in his career. You're not asking him to be a 1,300-yard pass catcher. You're asking to be a dude that can get you 750 yards, 6 touchdowns, 60 catches. Like, that's it. To me, that's all I'm looking for from him.
All right. Let's update the ASMANIAC Madness scenario, Cole. Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. 57-43. Jets Johnny all over Alon. I'm sure Alon's not even watching. He probably checked out knowing he's getting his ass kicked. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in right now with the 14th seed trying to pull off the upset over King Douche himself, Alon. Ladies and gentlemen, Jets Johnny is here. What's up, Johnny?
What's up,
Jake,
Johnny?
my brother, how you doing, man?
Johnny, what a campaign by you. It seems like people have come out in droves to support you.
The people know what's up, man. It's time to get rid of this bum from this show. So I'm happy that the committee hired me as an assassin to exterminate the Jake Asman show of this bum. And join us later because we're going to be smoking on that Allen pack on the Bobby Midnight show. Love you, Jake.
Jets Johnny, one of the greats, folks. Short and sweet.
Just Jets Johnny, I want to say thank you from my position because I love watching Alon suffer. He's an Iowa fan, so he has to watch bad offenses. Watching him lose in the first round, I had him losing in the next round, but I'm glad that somebody was able to upset him. First major upset that I didn't call.
I actually had Alon in my original bracket pool winning this matchup, but that was before Jets Johnny put on an all-out blitz campaign over the last 3 weeks to get this dub.
I love it. I love it. I love that he did this out of spite because if he knows that regardless of what happens next, just beating Alon is enough. Like, it just felt like it was all about beating Alon, but nothing else. I can appreciate that type of pettiness.
Amen. Huge shout out to Jets Carpetbagger. Very nice, Hugh Carpetbagger. Enjoy your weekend. Eat well. Yes, sir. I appreciate it, Jets Carpetbagger. I'm getting plucked up with a dear friend of ours after the show.
Mr. Mike Meltzer or Mr. Stutz?
No, neither. I don't even know if Jeremy's watching, but the great Jeremy Niederheiser.
Oh. What are you
Frank
gonna
P
get for
wants.
the?
What'd you say, Cole?
What are you gonna get for the appetizer?
Probably the famous Mott's sticks from Pluggers.
You're not gonna get the macaroni bites or whatever the hell they are.
No, the cheesy Mott's thing I like better than that.
No. You like? Yeah, I so recently. So finally, I signed up and it's like so much. But I'm starting to go towards the macaroni bites at this point over the Mott sticks. I don't know, something about it.
Really?
It works well if you put it in that chutney stuff, whatever the crap they have.
I have 2 updates for you, Cole. One, Bobby says the jersey doesn't fit him yet, so we're going to save that for another day when he keeps losing weight. And 2, Beast Breaker says that he's ready for you. Are you ready for hopefully a full Beast experience?
Yeah, I am, because I'm pissing him right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's say hello right now to a guy who earlier compared his hip injury to the same one Mickey Mantle had back in the day. It is time to unleash the Beast.
Beast Breaker.
Say hello right now. Beast, how are you?
Earlier compared his hip injury to the same one.
You'll see this in about 10 seconds as you haven't figured out how to watch the show not on delay.
Oh my god.
Here we go. We get to watch Beast react to his own intro.
Alon, how you been?
The old Beast delay, baby. Hit it, Beast. Give it to us. 10 seconds from right now. You're on the clock.
Come on, Beast. Let's go. What do you got?
Ready? Let's go. How are you guys feeling today? I hope you're feeling good because
Yeah, Beast.
Welcome live to another round of action. Oh, Jake, did you get my messages about the trade yesterday? Because I sent it to you in your email department.
I'll have my secretary look at it, Beast. He sounds better than ever, but we still haven't figured out why he can't watch the show through StreamYard.
Beast, what went wrong in the first round, dude? I had you go to the final 4, and I'm pissed.
The trades were. I looked at them.
better than ever, but we still
the trades were actually pulled up into my Jets department, and I was pretty surprised when they sent it. And I was like, I wanted to inform you that, so I'm just trying to be a little nice.
Hey, Beast, I just heard from my secretary who runs my email department. She says she hasn't received any of your emails.
The trades were actually pulled up into my Jets department, and I was pretty surprised when they sent it. And I was like, I wanted to inform you that, so I'm just trying to be a little nice.
Hey, Beast, I just heard from my secretary who runs my email department. She says she hasn't received any of your emails.
Go to your email department and go in there and check. 'Cause I know I sent it yesterday.
All right, I'm walking down the hall right now to the department. Let me see if I can find it.
I know I did. I sent it yesterday. I'm not stupid. Go to your email.
Beast, what went wrong in the first round with you, dude? I'm serious. I'm kind of mad. I picked you to go all the way to the final 4.
I'm walking down the hall right now to the department. Let me see if I can find it.
I know I did. I sent it yesterday. I'm not stupid.
Beast, the email department's off on Fridays, so in 30 minutes when you hear this, let me know what I should do next.
What went wrong in the first round with you, dude? I'm serious. I'm kind of mad. I picked you to go all the way to the final 4.
Right now, there's a lot of family problems.
Department Fridays, so in 30 minutes when you hear this, let me know what I should do.
Don't worry. Well, take your time and relax. And just remember, it's only Friday, so you know what you do Friday?
I'm
Go out
chilling,
and have a beer.
Beast. I'm relaxing, having a good time. You'll hear this in 30 minutes, and I'm curious what you think I should do at the rodeo later.
And I'm doing okay. It's just, I have to have my. I'm gonna have to have my. I'm seeing a lot of mean stuff. I'm not going to address it, please.
Did Buffalo Jet fan get you that mic, by the way?
I'm doing okay. I have to have my. Oh, and I want to say, since you're in Houston, yeah, cowboy.
Yeah.
There we go, Beast. There we go.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay. I'm just gonna put some ice on the hip, and I'm gonna stay off my feet, and I'm gonna do some, and just do the promising thing. Just stay off my feet, try and move around, just do myself.
You're the man,
If
Beast.
we
You're
get
the
into
man.
Holy crap, here comes Beastbreaker 666.
Why don't you get your fat ass on a treadmill and go the distance with me?
Is that Bobby Midnight?
I'm not into politics, and I already told you that.
I may be big, but I'm gonna be bad enough to put you out.
Beastbreaker always has some salient points.
Tremendous points there by Beast. Now, we haven't figured out this delay thing, but we have figured out seemingly how to get his microphone to not sound like it's underwater or a robot.
Okay, so we're moving up in the world. Like, it's a good thing. Like, we're getting closer towards the ultimate Beast Breaker finding himself. I'm glad.
Yeah. No, that was an
87.
improved version there.
87.
Let's see. I believe we got a super chat here from Jets Carpetbagger. Beastbreaker trying to get the sympathy vote. Well, it won't matter, Carpetbagger. One punch Brigga already ended it. Carl Clark. Jake, welcome back to H-Town. Thank you, Carl. I haven't been back here since I moved, so this is my first weekend visiting. I'm excited to be back. Good weekend to be here. St. Patrick's Day, rodeo season.
Are you going on 19th Street?
We're going to Griff's tomorrow, Cole.
Okay.
And
You're going to Griff's?
I'm sure we'll be at the usual spots tomorrow after that as well.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, that you're going to go to Drift. Why not?
Rowan Marshall has gifted a channel membership. Rowan, thank you very much. You know what we should do, Cole? People have accused me of being too negative, and I'm trying to be positive because despite what Matthew Smith might say, I would love nothing more than this Jets team to be great. I say we bring Beast back on, and we have him do his latest impression of Justin Fields scrambling for a first down.
I love it.
And then actually diving over the pylon and scoring a touchdown. So, Beast, I'm going to set the scene. We want you to go full Fields, scrambling to the end zone. No one does it like you. Let's take a live look in and watch greatness on full display. All right, Beast, you're going to hear your intro and then get out there and give us some Fields.
So it's my first weekend visiting. I'm excited.
Oh, God, we're really delayed now.
Be here, St. Patrick's Day, rodeo season.
It's going to take a little bit.
It's going to be a minute, buddy.
It's going to be a minute.
I got to try to go to the bathroom. I can wait.
Beast, you got to watch the show off StreamYard, not YouTube. That's why it's so delayed.
Yeah,
when you sign in from StreamYard, watch it through StreamYard.
They are low IQ moron.
Very much. You know what we should do, Cole? People have accused me
This
of
is going to be fantastic whenever he actually hears it.
All right, here we go. He's about to hear me requesting the field sprint.
Despite what Matthew Smith might say, I would love nothing more than this Jets team to be great. I have him do his latest impression of Justin Fields scrambling for a first down. I love it. And then actually
Let's go!
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Hey, let's go!
Yes. Let's go.
Scrambling to the end zone. No one does it like you.
Yes.
Take a live look.
He's doing it. Here we go.
Here we go.
Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready, Beast.
Yes. Yes.
All right, let's go! Do it! Woo! 18!
It's gonna be a minute.
Here we go.
Bathroom. I can
Yes.
Touchdown!
Jets.
Jets!
Yeah.
He faked an injury to get off air, and then the second that we put him on, immediately he's right back into the dedication. This is why I don't understand how he lost the first round. I don't get it. I don't.
This is how he got his hip injury, I think. B, so we wanted you to scramble like Justin Fields. He was giving us the Garrett Wilson one-handed catch against the Texans again there, but that was still good. I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good. I thought overall it was a very solid performance. I give that a 9.2. Great work ethic, by the way.
Hey, give it up to Beast in the chat. Love him or hate him. That's greatness right there. All right, that's entertainment. That's what this show's all about. Man. Open phone lines for anyone else who wants to come in. We're hanging out here with a little Cole Thompson special. He'll be joining us weekly once starting next week. This was a little impromptu. We're going to do like what we did the last couple of years. We're going to do a mock draft live on the show every week with you.
Yep. Veteran running back Kareem Hunt signs a 1 year, $1.5 million. Okay, cool, whatever.
Here's some little breaking news. Apparently, the Eagles are shopping Bryce Huff.
Really? You know why, right? They're going to go after Trey Hendrickson.
Dude, if they add him.
Oh, it's game over. I mean,
honestly, here's the Eagle player the Jets should trade for. They should trade for Dallas Goedert. He's only 30. He fills a huge need. Good veteran presence. Perfect for Fields. And then you could still take Warren.
You're saying who the Jets should trade for from the Eagles.
Yes, okay, the Jets should trade for Goedert.
I'd be okay with that. Because let me ask you, here's what you could do. Just humor me for a second. What if Ted McMillan is on the board at pick number 7? And you give up.
So how do you feel about Ted? I like him, but there's a lot of people who think he doesn't run fast enough to take in the top 7.
I'm not ready to go that far just yet. I still think that he is the most complete wide receiver. Like, okay, here's the deal. In my opinion, when looking at this year's draft, there is only one wide receiver, one potential. It is Ted McMillan. I think Ted McMillan can absolutely be a solid overall top 20 receiver. Now, I believe that Luther Burden, I believe that Emeka Egbuka, I think that Matthew Golden, who, by the way, Matthew Golden, I think would be such an interesting fit in this offense, but I really think Emeka Egbuka in the slot would be phenomenal. But I feel like that when you look at Ted McMillan is a dude, 6'4", great size, wins every single 50-50 ball. Most of his balls are 80-20. He played on a really crappy Arizona team last year, yet still put up over 1,400 receiving yards, good route runner. He's physical. He's hard to bring down. I love what he provides for any team. I just think that when you look at what the Jets have, if you could trade back and get him, I feel the same way about a guy like that, him and Tyler Warren. But I love what Ted McMillan does. I think Ted McMillan is far and away the best wide receiver in this year's draft.
Really? Okay. Not everyone has that opinion. I like that. So here's the tweet.
I will say I do like Matthew Golden. I do like Luther Burden. I think Luther Burden is severely underrated at this point. Just because if he played in a Missouri offense that took a step back last year and they didn't really have a good identity, I think that he is going to far and away be one of the steals of round 1. I think Emeka Egbuka is also a really good fit for this offense if you put him in the slot.
Here's my latest mock draft I did. It's a
very good one.
New York Jets.
Ohio Jets. That's what you're going to call it, right?
The Ohio New York Jets.
I love it. I think it's a very good deal. I think that it's fantastic. Oh, my God. Can we put Matthew Smith back in the Can we put Matthew Smith in the hole so I don't have to listen to him bitch anymore?
No one bitches quite like Matthew Smith. He's elite at it.
He is fantastic at being a grade A ass-sniffing bitch. I love it.
Here's the tweet from Schultz. I just told you the Eagles are open to trading Goddard and Huff. I'm just laughing at the last line of this. Huff, one of last year's big free agent signings, has seen limited playing time due to Philly's deep rotation. No, because he sucked. He did nothing. He wasn't a scheme fit for Vic Fangio. So I just like the agent spin there. Like that's where Schultz is getting it from, right? Like, oh, Huff didn't play because of how deep the Eagles rotation was. They gave him $51 million. He's supposed to play. He just wasn't good. So he wasn't even active for the Super Bowl. That's how good the Eagles were, that they missed on a free agent sign they spent $51 million on, and the guy couldn't even suit up in the Super Bowl.
The problem is that who's going to take him? Like, and what are you going to get back in return for him? Because if you got to pay the contract. That's the problem. And number 2,
here's where Huff's going to go. He's going to go to Atlanta with Jeff Ulbrich, or he's going to go to San Fran with Robert Saleh. Book it.
I actually bet he'll go to San Fran. I agree with that.
Or Dallas if they trade Parsons and they need Eagles and Cowboys want to pick a trade. Forget that because the Jets D-line coach Aaron Whitecotton, previous D-line coaches on Schottenheimer's staff.
No, I agree with you. I think he goes to what's it called? I think he goes to San Francisco. I really do. Goddard to the Jets would be really interesting. I really think that he would be a nice addition, and it would allow you to take a wide receiver, or it would allow you to get Membo at 7. And so, like, that's my thing. Is that let's say you're locked in on a tackle at 7, and it is Will Campbell. Maybe it's Kelvin Banks from Texas. Maybe it's Armand Membo. You're cool with that. If you get him. If you get Dallas Goedert for what's the most you want to give up for him? Fourth round pick, or would you give up a third?
I would probably trade a fourth. He's on the last year of his deal.
So you give up the fourth round pick. Now you have a tight end that you could potentially sign to a long-term deal this offseason when he gets there. You are able to shore up your offensive line. You feel like that maybe you're going to get a wide receiver too. Like there's some good wide receiver twos that I really like when it comes to the later rounds. I think that you could get a really good dude in Jalen Royals out of Utah State. I think that you could get a guy like Trey Harris out of Ole Miss. He could be a nice find. Who else am I blanking on off the top of my head? I think Isaiah Bond, depending on how you feel about him and the drops that he had at Texas at sometimes last year. I feel like that would be good. But it would allow you to then still feel like that you have two weapons that you really trust. If you go out and you sign a free agent wide receiver, I don't know who it's going to be. At least you now feel like that you have three competent pieces around Justin Fields to be successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Show is starting to wind down. Make sure you get your vote cast. And as Maniac Madness, we got an upset brewing. This would be only the second time a double-digit seed has defeated a top 3 seed in the opening round. Alon in danger of going down to Jets Johnny. Right now I'm looking at poll results. It's 58-42 with almost 600 votes that have been cast. I appreciate everyone supporting the show. If you tuned in late, I just saw we got an uptick in people joining the show for whatever reason. We announced the winners of the Sack Exchange raffle. Congratulations to the following listeners, right? The grand prize winner, StreamYard's still giving me issues here, not showing photos. The winner of the white jersey you see on the screen is Taps Any Button. Paul Taxter is the winner of the signed helmet by the Sack Exchange. Mimosa is the winner of the green Sack Exchange jersey. And Rat Diddy won an item from the Jake Asman merch store. So congrats to our 4 winners in this week's raffle. And we're looking ahead to next week's raffle, which is Jets wide receiver greats. That's the theme. Signed G-Dub helmet, signed Don Maynard jersey. More prizes to be announced based on the amount of memberships we get, which gives me more money to upgrade the prizes each and every week. All right. Let's see. Rich says smash the like button. Amen.
Let me ask you your opinion real fast. What would you rather do, Tyler Warren or Ted McMillan at 7?
Right now, I would take Warren.
Okay. Is it because of that you just what's your reason behind it?
I think he's a better prospect. He fills 2 needs. The Jets were dog crap at running the football, and I think he helps there. He's like another offensive lineman. I think the offense they want to play is going to heavily feature the tight end with Fields. You watch his film, he's just constantly throwing to Freiermuth in Pittsburgh last year.
Yep.
And I just think Ted's good. I don't know if he's a top 7 pick in the draft good. I don't know.
Okay.
You tell me he's Drake London, fine. I don't think he's as good as Drake London.
I think that Drake London is probably his potential. I think that that's what you're banking on, is him to become similar to Drake London. The reason why I can understand that path, I really think that Tyler Warren is clear-cut far away the best tight end in the draft. And there is a significant drop-off between it.
It is a great tight end class, though, to be fair. Like,
I think it's a good tight end class. I think it's
Troy Taylor's nephew.
Yeah, Mason Taylor, Gunnar Helm from Texas. Helm from Texas is going to be really interesting to me because of he had the sprained ankle and he ran like a 4.9 at the combine. So what does he run at Texas's pro day? I could see him as a third round pick for New York. I think that'd be a really good find. He does a lot of the same things that Tyler Warren does. What I think with Warren that really stands out is that the overall upside I think that he can be is Sam Laporta. And so you've already seen what Sam Laporta does in an offense that's based around this kind of style. And you already know that Justin Fields loves going to tight end play. So I can get that path. I personally would trade down for both of them, both Ted McMillan and for Tyler Warren, because I just think if Armand Membo is there, not being able to re-sign Morgan Moses has now put right tackle up for a need. Because if, again, you got to be able to run the football. And if you want to be able to run the football, I think that you have to be able to trust what you have in the backfield with both Justin Fields and with Breece Hall, to where you got to be able to have stability. That's what I'm looking for.
I've answered a version of this question a lot the last week, and I'll continue to do it. Harris says you didn't want Bowers last year in round 1. I agreed. So why this year? I think we need the right tackle instead. To me, it's a different situation. Last year, the Jets, to me, in an all-in year, needed a left tackle. And I think the Olu pick was smart. He was really good as a rookie. and I have no regrets about that. This year, you already have 4/5 of your offensive line in place. You've invested heavily into your O-line. I want the Jets to do what a lot of other teams have done and find their long-term answer at right tackle on day 2 or day 3. I think you could do that in this draft with that 42nd pick. You can get an offensive lineman, or even pick 72 could be a starting offensive lineman for you potentially. I just think this year's draft is not as blue chip as last year. So Warren to me is a top 7 player, whereas I don't know if there's going to be another like surefire top 7 player that's truly there at 7 for the Jets, if that makes sense. I just think every draft is different, and Warren in this year's class would be the best player on the board at a position in need, whereas last year it was tough to argue Bowers when you had such a glaring need on the offensive line.
You said best player on the board at pick number 7.
I think Warren will be the top. I think most people, consensus-wise, have these 4 players as like the top players in the draft, right? It's It's Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter, Mason Graham, and Tyler Warren. I feel like those are the 4 names I see as like, and maybe Ashton Genty, but they're not going to take a running back at 7.
No, I mean, Ashton Genty for me would be at pick number 4. Pick number 5 for me would actually be Armand Membo. I think that Membo is far and away the best tackle. Pick number 6 for me would be Will Campbell. Pick number 7 for me would be Ashton Genty. Pick number 8 for me would be Tyler Warren. So me personally, if I'm looking at this, if Armand Membo is there, that's the pick. I'm not looking past it. Because let me also remind you, Jake, what was the first pick that set the tone for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah, they took a lineman.
Right tackle.
Yep.
It was a right tackle on Penei Sewell. So to me, that works. Here's the reason why I didn't want Brock Bowers. You needed a blocker. You needed guys to help in pass protection. Brock Bowers is an elite route running tight end. He offers nothing in pass pro. In a year where you need to protect your quarterback coming off a torn Achilles, you could not invest a first-round pick on a receiving tight end only. I'm okay with it this year if that's the guy that you want to go with. I would rather you move back and get him, personally. But I think right now, when I look at it, I would absolutely go Armand Membo first. I probably then would have a conversation about Ted McMillan or Tyler Warren. Probably I would go with Tyler Warren, if I'm being just completely honest. And
look, if they took Membo, I understand it. So I wouldn't be against that, Harris. I don't think it's a crazy take at all. The Turtle says... Okay.
Do me a favor. These are your 3 first picks. First is Armand Membo. You get Trey Harris in round 2. Your 3rd round pick, you get Gunnar Helm. You still walk away with 3 offensive pieces.
Not bad. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but this wide receiver draft looks deep. No need to go after one in the first. They could do it in the second. They could take a wide receiver in round 2.
Here, okay.
The Jets never hit on any second-round wide receivers, but maybe Darren Muji is different.
It's okay. The way I would put it is it's deep in wide receiver 2 and 3s. So like an Xavier Restrepo, a Jalen Noyle, a Jaden Higgins from Iowa State. Those are guys that if you see in round 2, round 3 go, they can be very solid playmakers. I think Pat Bryant, guy in the chat,
will he make it to 42? Luther.
Well, who?
Luther.
No way. I think that he is going to impress at Mizzou's Pro Day to where he is a top 20 pick. I honestly think that he's going to get drafted by Seattle at pick 18 right now. That's what I would say. But I think that if you look at this class, there are so many complementary wide receivers. You have a wide receiver 1. You don't need a wide receiver 1. You need a secondary playmaker. That's what you get in Isaiah Bond. That's what you get in Jalen Noyle. That's what you get in Jaden Higgins. That's what you get in Jalen Royals. That's what you get in Jack Beck, who honestly I think is going to be one of the best day 2 picks by whoever gets him, just because of the way that he plays in the slot. Eric Alaminor is another one that I think is going to be really fun. So definitely it's a deep draft when you talk about guys. ISU RB Real, Pat Bryant. Pat Bryant was awesome for Illinois this past year. I think that he can absolutely be a vertical threat for your team on the outside. Really good over 800 receiving yards. But like I look at right now, if you just want a wide receiver 2, wait. But again, I would rather go Membo 1, wide receiver in the 2nd round. Go get yourself wide receiver number 3. Go get yourself a tight end in round 3. Gunnar Helm would be my pick.
Mama Beastbreaker says Cole looks like Walmart brand James McAvoy.
It's Kirkland brand James McAvoy, but yes, I do. I have gotten that for years. I appreciate you. My name is Patricia or Professor X. Well, I guess it'd be Professor on X. I don't know. Whatever the hell he was.
Taps any button in the chat. Is Cole a part of BM? What is BM?
What is BM?
I don't know what BM is, but I do know this Taps any button. I hope you were watching at the top of the show. You won this jersey, man. Congratulations. Shoot me an email right now, asmanjake@gmail, with your actual name and address where I'm sending this to, and I will get this out to you, Taps. You won the raffle.
There you go. Good for you, Taps. I would love to know what BM is.
Is Cole a part of Bowel Movement?
No. Okay. No, I don't think so.
Tom A says, Boob Master. Are you a Boob Master, Cole?
You know what Kirsten looks like?
I have met her, yes.
I say, you have met my wife. You know what she is.
Signed helmet also was raffled away, and the signed jersey. We had winners. So if you won, reach out to me. Man with a rake. What round can you draft the best kicker in college? Is there a top kicker that intrigues you, Cole? Do you know any kickers?
It's the Miami kicker. It's the Miami kicker, but no, you don't draft a kicker at all. I just don't do that. I refuse to. His kickers can be replaced like instantly.
Taps had no idea he won the raffle. Taps, shoot me an email. I'll get it sent out when I return to Houston on Monday.
Good job. Good job.
Cactus Johnny says Booty Master.
I'm a boobs guy.
Yeah, Taps had no idea he won. Taps, congratulations. Gator says, is it possible Cole hasn't recovered from his sex change?
I told you that in confidence, Gator. You were supposed to go ahead and keep that private. How dare you? Only you and Jake knew that. Not even my wife knew that.
Rich says, congrats, Taps. Yes, congratulations to Taps. Your chance to get in the next raffle, Taps, if you also missed that announcement, sign Maynard jersey, sign Garrett Wilson helmet. I will add more prizes the more memberships we get, but it's going to be Jet wide receiver themes. Some of you have requested certain Jet wide receivers, and I think you're going to be excited about some of the possibilities there. Say whatever you want about the Jets' history. They have had some great receivers in their history, so I'm excited to highlight that.
Yeah, they have. They have. Oh, by the way, Leon had the best one of the day. James Crackaway. I appreciate that. That was actually a lot of fun. That was a fun one. I like when you go ahead and find a way to go and make me look like that I am a cracked out addict that just literally lives on the street, even though I bought a house.
Curly says, "Can we get a Justin McCarron's autograph?" No, but I appreciate the suggestion. Matthew Smith will see Matthew Smith. We could agree on something. This is funny. Yes, I'll send it to you with an Elijah Moore signed jersey too, Matthew Smith.
Which one would you rather have, Jake? The Denzel Mims or the Elijah Moore?
God, both stink.
I would much rather have the Elijah. I'd much rather have the Denzel Mims one.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
Him or a signed Hackenberg jersey.
God, a Hackenberg autograph, Cactus Johnny.
I love your pure hatred for freaking Hackenberg. It's still
hey. Yeah, not a fan. Taps any button. How about this? $50 super chat here as we're winding down.
Freaking New York Jets. So we're built for this shit.
Hey, Taps. I mean, you're in the raffle for 10. Maybe you may not only have you won the Sack Exchange jersey, maybe you'll win the Maynard jersey. Maybe you'll win the Garrett helmet. All right, you know what? I'll tell you what. The next person to gift 5 memberships, I'll reveal the third place prize. All right? How's that for a tease?
Someone's going to do it in like 2 seconds. Watch.
The next person to do it.
Ghost of 3S Pounds writes in, y'all don't want to take a round 1 wide receiver. I'm not saying it's wrong. Like, I'm not saying you have to. Here's the thing. The Jets have their number 1. So they can wait. They're not a team that has to go after a wide receiver. Like, if somehow it falls in line.
Breaking news, Cole. Whatever point you were about to say doesn't matter. Rick Kent.
Breaking sports news on the Jake Asman Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Kent wants to know the third place jersey. Joey Coffey, Jalen Brunson fan, Mighty Mouse, June Removal, Mark Brunell, or Burano, Mark Brunell, KJ in Colorado, all receiving memberships. All right, Rick Kent got us the third place prize being revealed today. Ladies and gentlemen, first place is a signed Don Maynard jersey. Second place is a signed Garrett Wilson helmet. And our third place raffle prize for next week is a signed helmet by the great Wayne Corbett.
All right. Good for you, Jake.
Now, the theme is jet wide receivers. Great receivers. So I got some other stuff in store if we hit certain membership thresholds.
Okay. Let me ask you, who is the one wide receiver that you want to get an autograph for that you haven't gotten yet?
Altoon has been a tough one for me to track down.
Okay. Do you have Eric Decker?
We don't have Decker in this one, but without
Okay.
spoiling it, we have someone associated with Eric Decker.
You have Jesse James signed music album. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's a
Dan
good one.
says Braxton Berrios signed Zach Wilson is good shirt.
Yeah.
All
By
right.
the way, Braxton's out in Houston. Him and Alex Earl.
Oh yeah, you excited to cover Alex Earl?
I'm so excited to cover Alex Earl. I have no idea what she does, but I just know her name.
I'm sure your wife is excited. Is she a fan?
She has no idea who Alex Earl is.
Really?
Which is surprising because Kirsten's always on.
She's a TikToker.
I know. No, she's on TikTok every single day, and I'm like, you know who Alex Earl is? Like, I've never heard of this chick. Sure, whatever.
All right, I think we're done here, Cole. It's going to be awesome to declare a winner because we got a beatdown, baby, an absolute bloodbath. Jets.
Is it over? Can you just call it at this point so I can get off the stream? Because I'm waiting.
I call it when I end the show, and guess what?
Okay. Real fast. Somebody asked a question. Cole, who should be some of the best right tackle prospects in round 2 if we take a weapon? Wyatt Milam, I think, is probably one that you want to look at from West Virginia. Jonas Saina from Arizona, probably another one. They're both like those fringe tackle guard types. Emory Jones is one that I think is probably going to move inside, or I would say him.
Ozzie Trapillo, Boston College. That's the guy.
You like him?
I like him. I don't know if maybe he's a round 3 guy, but I could see him going in the second round.
Is he hard pressed?
I don't know what that means.
Does he bite down a lot? Is he really hard?
Ozzie Trapillo. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I would take him.
I've heard some rumors about him being a pillow biter. So I'm just gonna fair warn you on that one.
Cole, do you follow more porn stars on Instagram than Charles Gorman? The chat wants to know.
Probably not.
Okay.
I think I follow 2.
Yeah, Thunderlips didn't get the reference either.
Yeah, I was completely just missing on that one. I was very slow to the point, and then I messed it up. So just go ahead and send me to the shadow realm. That's fine.
Janice Jet at the buzzer. How about this? 10 raffle entries, baby. Let's freaking go. This is for Janice. Janice is awesome. I want everyone to know that. She bought merch the other day, and unfortunately, one of the shirts she picked, the merch provider I used, didn't have it. So we sent Janice some different merch items instead. And she's like, I don't even want it. Use it for someone else. I'm like, no, Janice, you support the show. You're getting it, but you're the best, Janice. Thanks for the 10 memberships. And this is for Janice.
Yeah, here we come, baby. Here we come. Here come the Jets, baby.
Here we go. 10 names from Janice. If you got a membership, thank her. Matthew James, D1, Chris Moses, Logan Tomaszewski, Copper Johns. Shout out to Copper Johns, Tyson and the team over there doing a great job with all your men's grooming needs. Hanson, Florencino Morales, Anthony Skull, Jay, Nick Kramer, all receiving channel memberships. Thank you very much to Janice. On that note, I think I'm excited to declare a winner. Are you ready?
I think you should declare a winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a show, and that means it is time to move forward. The number 14 seed who has dethroned the 3 seed in the opening round of the Butter Region. Voting is officially closed. Congratulations to the Jets Johnny on the win. 599 votes. I'm being told by Bill M that means there are no more perfect brackets left in the ASMANIAC Madness pool. There were 262 people that filled out brackets, and there's not a single perfect one left after this upset by Jets Johnny, who joins us now to celebrate. Johnny,
all right,
you did
Jets
it.
Johnny, come on, baby, yes.
You took him down, baby.
I did. We did it. We did it. The community did it. You know, we all did it together. So But now it's on to the positivity. You know, we ridded ourselves of the negativity. It's on to the positivity. I changed the jersey. And it's funny because you mentioned Wayne Corbett. So I'm all aboard, man. That's my guy. I love Wayne Corbett. That was my guy when I was growing up. So yeah, I'm happy to get the win.
Look at this turnout, by the way. 600 votes almost. That's a big
Oh
number.
my God. Bloodbath. Double-digit victory, Jets, Johnny. I appreciate that. Johnny, I just want to say from me personally, the fact that you had so much pettiness just to take down Alon, you harbored it for weeks on end to build that rapport to make sure that you were coming out on top. I hope that I have that type of pettiness for the rest of my life in everything that I do, because of you absolutely earned this win.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, when you're going against somebody like Alon, you know, with all due respect, you know what I mean? He's one of the GOATs on this show. You know, he comes on with his crazy ass takes and stuff like that. But, you know, the show wouldn't be what it is without Alon. So, you know I I dissed him twice now, but you know, it's all in fun and whatnot. So I'm happy the campaign pulled off, and you know, I got some stuff in store for Craig because he's a nice guy. So I gotta go different, but we're not taking it light on Craig neither. So you know, hopefully I can keep going in this tournament. If not, though, you know, it's nothing but fun, man. So I appreciate you, Jake. I appreciate you doing this whole thing and letting me be a part of it. And Cole, you're the man, bro. Even though it takes a little while sometimes, I still appreciate you, bro. I mean, come on, man. You're a little wild. I don't want to go in on you right now. You know, I'm asking in the glory.
Johnny,
man.
let me ask you: Are you nervous about the international competition? Is that going to be a factor in this next round for you?
Am I nervous? No. I mean, listen, the choice is easy. You can vote for an American, you know what I'm saying, a United States Marine, somebody who served this country, somebody who volunteered to go and defend this country twice, or you could vote for Australians, you know, like, so where does your loyalty lie? That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Where does your
He's
loyalty
making
lie?
the USA card. I love it. Johnny, you're the man.
I gotta do
Congrats.
something, man. Craig's the man, bro. Y'all take it easy, bro. Have a good one, man.
Johnny killed it, man. I mean, he has been campaigning for weeks. He made people remember who he be, and him and Gator worked together on this before the show started. I'll play it one more time, and then we got a 20 spot to announce, and we'll get out of here.
We're here with Jets Johnny. Jets Johnny, how do you feel about your match with Alon?
Listen here, brother. Don't say that name around me. I've been working out, taking my vitamins, and we're gonna take home this hard-earned victory for all the ASMANIACs. Get out of here with those questions. Listen here, brother. What you gonna do when the ASMANIACs run wild all over you?
Bravo. What a performance. Love that.
That was
Shout out to Jets
fantastic.
Johnny. That's what this tournament should be. Fun. Love it. Anyone in the tournament, Gator has that offer. You can send him a video and he'll make a funny campaign theme video for you.
Where's by the way, where's Alon? I want to see him cry right now.
Doesn't call in anymore. Retired from calling in.
Why? Because the people were so tired of his crap takes.
Well, he's got some sort of job now where he can't call.
Oh,
in
he's
anymore.
got a job now. Okay, I can't
But
wait. I can't wait to hear him watch the replay.
But he can
Just admit
comment.
defeat.
Jorge at the buzzer here. You're the man, Jorge. How about a 20 spot of channel membership? I don't have my helmet with me, which I normally put on, my full-size Jet helmet that is way too big for my head. So instead of my helmet, I'm putting on, as I'm in Houston for the weekend visiting some friends here, I'm putting on my cowboy hat in honor of Jorge dropping a 20 membership spot for the people.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
Ah, the hell with it.
Here we go.
Does it make
Ken
you
from
want
San
to
Diego.
look like Bill Burr?
You do look like Bill Burr.
You look like Bill Burr in that clip.
Oh, I do? Yeah, maybe.
You look exactly like him in the clip. That's what I'm saying.
We saw Bill Burr together, actually, funny enough.
We did. It was fantastic. His new. I'm gonna actually when I get off here and I'm gonna make lunch. I'm gonna watch a stand-up special before I gotta go to work.
Enjoy it. Monica Alicorn, Carl Clark, Adam Cavender, Ernie, Dane, Sebastian Diaz, Duncan Lloyd, Walter McIndoe, Joseph Webb, Ghost of Three Siblings. What is that? Jay's like 8th YouTube account. Amar, Mad Dog, Caden, Ruggs89 New York, Michael DeRuz, Andrew Hernandez, all receiving channel memberships from Jorge. Jorge, you're the man, my friend. Really appreciate your support. As always, we'll get you in the raffle for 20. And for those who missed it, here are the top 3 prizes for the next raffle. Third place, Wayne Corbett helmet. Second place, Garrett Wilson helmet. First place, top prize, Don Maynard signed jersey that lists all his accomplishments here. So, a couple great items. Bino at the buzzer, final super chat. Alon, the Hebrew Hammer, didn't do too bad for a guy who hasn't called in 3 months. Shalom. Look, Alon is polarizing, but I wonder if he called in more, if it would have been more of a bloodbath for Jets Johnny, because Alon is always negative. You guys think I'm negative lately. Alon, first off, the Jets hired the coach who Alon wanted, got rid of Aaron Rodgers who Alon wanted, and he's still beyond negative and talking about Garrett Wilson being traded and all this nonsense.
Alon just hates life. He's an Iowa fan. Everything is slow, underwhelming, never able to kind of hit its stride. So what would you expect from him? Seriously, what would you expect from him?
Unreal. Hey, we're 8 likes away from 300, so smash that like button if you haven't at the buzzer. Cole, appreciate you hopping on. We'll get you on next week. We'll start doing our mock drafts that we do on the show. Every week we do a different mock. We take a different strategy, trade up, trade down, stick and pick. We're going to work through it over the next couple of weeks here as free agency's in full swing, and then we're on to the draft, man. And if you look at the draft, how many days away we are, we're 41 days away from the draft. We're going to have an official ASMANIAC draft party that I will be announcing shortly. Venues locked in. Contracts about to be signed. Can't wait to share that announcement with all of you. So stay tuned for that. If you're in the tri-state, it's going to be an awesome draft night. So be available and be on the lookout for that. Discord, you'll find out first before the general public, as always. Cole, thanks for coming on, and I'll see you in person tomorrow.
What time do you want me to come hang out with you?
I'll text you.
All right, sounds good.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Cole Thompson. My name is Jake Asman. That is the show, folks. Appreciate all of you. Congrats to Jets Johnny on the win. And, man, we're back tomorrow. A little Saturday soiree. Good matchup in the tournament tomorrow as well. Hamburger and Scott going at it. So if you've been a longtime viewer of the show, you'll remember the summer of Scott, but Hamburger's been emerging of late. So that is a great battle that will get underway tomorrow on the show. Cole is back because I hit the wrong button. All right. On that note, thank you all for watching. JETS, Jets, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, Jameis, would you come to the Jets? They might need a quarterback. Yeah. JETS, Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, our exclusive interview with now friend of the show, Jameis Winston.
My mother wants to know who I'm talking to. I'm on StreamYard, Mom. I'm on YouTube.
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf!
Charles, you're the best, dude. I can't. Mom, the meatloaf.
The meatloaf!
Mom!
Yes. Oh!